All right, the highlights from our live trading chat room today, greatstockpicks.com. It was Wednesday. I'm going to go over, I do a lot of projecting of the charts to show people what I'm looking at. So I'm going to try to go over every little idea I put out today just to give you an idea of the, we're coming out with a lot more calls lately, and I think the market's just been a little more friendly. But UPL, I was projecting. Now, this was not, these are not, I want to give the impression, not every one of these was an official, hey, I type out an entry and a stop and this is a go. But even when I see something that, for whatever reason, I might be hesitant to take the trade, I've made a kind of personal commitment to put it on a projector and show it to the room, because a lot of people, might want to take the trade and they might like it more than I do. Okay, so anyway, that's what I'm going to go over real quick, try to be brief. UPL, because of this early rally, early volume, I like the shape here. My first buy idea was right around here. Again, I didn't make that a call. Stop would have been 20 cents below, and UPL was just off to the races all day. Now, the only reason I put this on in the video at all is because we did have several members that were celebrating and did that. So we have a lot of people that don't necessarily listen to me when I talk myself out of an idea, maybe because the SPY at the moment is weak, or oil numbers are coming out, or some other numbers are coming out. So I'll stay on the sidelines myself. But showing these has put some money in some people's pockets. So we had several people celebrating UPL, and I'm just going to go in no particular order. NUS, okay, this one's beaten senseless on the daily, okay, and then gap down today. Now take today's candle out of it and look at this action. I mean, it's just beaten senseless, right? So now at the open, look what happens. It gaps down. To me, these are late shorts, right? Just thinking, shorts mentality sometimes is, hey, a stock that ugly is going to zero by Monday, right? You just don't short after that many days down at the open. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't looking for the first 15 minutes. I am building a list of early action that I like, so I can share the charts with people and say, hey, this one, they might be good setups later. So that's how I spend my first 15, 20 minutes. It builds a great list for the room, but more importantly, keeps me out of trouble from doing something stupid by trying to trade early, okay? Anyway, NUS, though, I still like the action, the early sell-off and the bounce, and once it started to go here, this became, a pretty obvious stock to look for a long, and when it looked like this, I turned on the projector, told everybody, and I drew this little line here. It said NUS is kind of flagging here. I like it to the upside out of this flag. Didn't give it. Now that's the reason it's not on the results page. I didn't give an exact entry and stop. I just said over this flag, this could go. Worst case stop would have to be below this candle here, probably 30 or 40 cents risk. There's the flag break, and man, it was off to the races. So somewhere around 43 entry. Again, not on the results page because I didn't give exact trigger and stop. Went to 45.33. So huge move there, $2.30 something move on what was probably about 30 something cents risk. And again, the only reason it's in the video is because I did project it live, give the idea, wasn't an official call, and we had members celebrating that one. So TEVA was an early weak stock. These horizontal lines I put on the chart to show where I called the short. TEVA, big sell-off here, gap down and sell-off on this bounce. My short idea was right here on this bottom horizontal line. I was projecting this one live, and the worst case stop was 20 cents above at this top horizontal line. So TEVA roughly 43.11, 43.31 stop, and that went down over $1 in our favor without stopping out. LYB, again, not an official call. I was projecting LYB. I'll show you exactly what it looked like when I was projecting the idea. Using our new buy zone strategy that I put together, was right in here. Basically 39.58. Stop would have been 39.38. Again, not an official call. Had the projector going, gave the idea, and from 39.58, look at that. Now, I did not get this trade, or some of these others that I'm showing you. Doesn't mean I didn't project them and give the idea, though. Again, sometimes I talk myself out of these. Beautiful one there, though. 39.58 went to, I don't know what, 41.28. Beautiful move there on about 20 cents risk that didn't get stopped out. Again, not an official call, but projected it, and probably my best one of the day. Now, again, Soda kept me out because it's such a crazy stock. You can cut your position size down and still trade these. These stocks that have the crazy you know, sometimes dime spreads. But soda, huge gap up today. On this sell-off, right around 34 bucks, I turned on 1 minute candles and was projecting this live to the room, right about here, and said, I like this if it triggers on ones, but I was very adamant that, hey, this thing is whippy. You want to trade it small, okay? Again, the reason it makes the video is because watch what happens. What I mean by trigger on ones is the first break of a previous one's high. See how you have stair steps here, lower highs? The first break of a previous one's high right here on this green candle, it broke this candle's high. The entry 3406, low of day stop. Look what happens. Never stops out, and I'll go to fives. 3406, it makes it to 37.95. Huge move on about 20 or 30 cents risk, and I absolutely picked the bottom clean on that one with that call. Again, I stayed on the sidelines because soda's so crazy. The reason it's in the video, had members celebrating this one. Many in there took it. So just a great call on soda, if I say so myself. I can brag more when I didn't take the trade, I guess, right? Mosaic, an experimental call by me. It's sort of a, hey, I put forth a thesis, and I said, I haven't back-tested this idea enough to call it. So I just put forth a thesis, and I drew my lines. I explained the reason for the entry to the room. It was basically right around 49.50 with a 49.30 stop while this green candle was forming. So 49.50, 49.30 stop. I was very clear that this is not a call. I'm testing a thesis. And look at this. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. From 49.50, it ends up making it almost a buck. I think it went up 80 cents from there on 20 cents risk. So another example. Let's see. That might be, no, it's not it for the day yet. Disney. My only losing call of the day, and also more than made it back. My first entry on Disney was somewhere around 45.05, something like that. I could be wrong about that exactly, with a 20-cent stop, which was would have been 44.85. So there. But my second call on it was right here at this blue line at 44.80 with a 44.60 stop, and from 44.80 went to 45.50, I think. So a 70-cent move, more than made up for the 20-cent loss on the first Disney call. Also mentioned Liz, L-I-Z, as a short right here on this line. Worst case stop was up here, and it fell about 20 cents. And I said, I think it's going to pull back, and then I want to look at the buy zones, which one of them is this 5.8. But I got sidetracked and never called the long in Liz, which was the really nice trade. So I said I'm expecting a pullback, probably down to around 13. And this is when it looked like this with my short idea, okay? And then I said, and when it gets to 13, I'll be looking to switch and go long. I never did that. I never actually took either one of those trades, but certainly worked out nicely for those that did. I get sidetracked sometimes after showing an idea. And then a couple last ones there. GM was a long idea right here. Let's see if I can find the numbers. GM was somewhere around 22.58, I think, and it only went up, I could be wrong about that. Went up about a dime, gave plenty of time to kill it flat, which is what I did and said to the chat room. And then late in the day, Pfizer, I did not catch any of this big move, but grabbed it down here at this blue line, and it only went up about a dime near the end of the day. As it started to come back down, I killed it. This was my worst case stop, never came close to stopping out. All right, that's it. I think that's it for the day. If I missed any, it certainly wasn't intentional. Let me see if I can glance one more time. I went over both Disney. So that was it. Some really good stuff today, and a lot of the members profited a lot more than I did today. I didn't take a lot of these experimental ideas until I'm more comfortable, but beautiful, beautiful gains for a lot of the members in there today. That's it. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll talk to you guys later.